Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Sniper Elite 5 in depth, where today we are looking at the MP40. The weapon for this video was decided by a community poll, so if you want to get involved, check out my community page on my channel because I'll put up a poll when this video releases, so you can vote on the next weapon. So, without further ado, let's get into this.
Probably just covering this area.
The genesis of the MP40 lies in the MP36, a prototype submachine gun produced secretively in very small numbers by Irma. In 1938, Irma submitted a development of this design, called the MP38, to answer a call from the Heereswaffenamt for a new submachine gun. The MP38 was adopted by the German army and was later revised into the MP40, which had a few minor alterations, such as much cheaper stamped steel parts compared to the machined steel of the MP38 and a slightly longer barrel. The MP40 was mechanically quite a simple gun, being a rather basic open bolt blowback weapon with no provision for select fire. The MP40 made up for this by having a low cyclic rate of only about 500 rounds per minute, which made the weapon easy to use and very accurate. Despite the lack of innovation internally, the MP40 was radically designed on the outside, featuring Bakelite furniture and an underfolding stock, which were radical innovations at the time. The MP40's only real undoing was its poor magazine design, which often caused malfunctions, especially when the magazine was used as foregrip. Over 1 million were built, and the MP40 has been used in at least 17 different wars, including but not limited to World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In-game, the MP40 is an endlessly reliable weapon. It has the best spread accuracy of any submachine gun, and this is coupled with great aim stability, with aim down sights time, and a decent equip time. Its damage, effective range, muzzle velocity, recoil, and audible range are all average, which creates a brilliant jack-of-all-trades weapon that punches far above its weight. The MP40 is not without its downsides, however. It has a very slow fire rate and a poor reload speed. Its iron sights are pretty good, although the rear sight is halfway down the receiver, meaning that the sights seem much further away than they should be. With that being said, however, the MP40 is still a masterful weapon. It is capable in every situation, be it stealth gameplay, aggressive assaults, or combat at a range unsuited for automatics. The MP40 will work wherever. The MP40's general all-round ability coincides well with the fact that it's as common as a racist Daily Mail article. If you run out of ammunition, or you're hard of understanding and you've packed a Gustav, you can quite easily pick up an MP40 off any number of dead Nazis, and then you can start showing the remaining ones precisely why they lost the war. The MP40 also has a good range of attachments, although it lacks optics and stocks. The MP40 has a wide variety of magazines and muzzle attachments, which means you can kit the gun out to suit almost any playstyle. The MP40 may not be the best weapon for any given scenario. Its accuracy is great, but it doesn't have the range to utilise this, and its handling is good, but it isn't rapid enough to utilise that either. But it will get the job done, which is something I can't say of those who wielded it. Now I want to go through two setups I have made for the MP40, the first one being an accuracy focused build. I use the precision rifling to improve my spread accuracy, which is one of the most important statistics to me when I'm using submachine guns, as you'll see in future SMG in-depth videos. I also use the McLean control brake, as it greatly improves both recoil control and spread at the cost of increased noise. I use the standard magazine as, although the lightweight magazine would increase accuracy, I still want the full firepower of the 32 round mags. I use no grip tape, and finally I take the precision machined receiver to increase accuracy without harming firepower. For ammunition, I'd recommend match if you need to do some long range work, and then the second one is really up to you. This setup is really effective when it comes to short range gunfights. There's no need to tap fire, as I've more than halved the already best in class spread accuracy down to a preposterous 25 centimeters. And for the most part, the firepower of the gun remains unharmed, with only muzzle velocity being really rather low. And I know that you'll be saying having an awful muzzle velocity defeats the point of the accurate setup, but I think that if you're engaging at ranges where this thing's muzzle velocity will matter, you should be using a rifle, because it's not like it's going to be any noisier thanks to the McLean control brake. So, despite having no scope or stock attachments, this MP40 is still ridiculously accurate. My second setup is a much more aggressive build, focused on large volumes of fire and a rapid time to kill potential. I use the precision rifling because I like it, and the muzzle velocity is not something I'm going to be concentrating on with this setup. The McLean control brake is also used because it's one of the things I'm going to be buried with when I die, and the M31 casket magazine for the monstrous 50 round capacity, the quick draw grip so all the Germans can see the swiftness of the Ranger with the Schmeisser on his hip, and then the lightened bolt to improve fire rate, which the MP40 is kinda lacking by default. For the ammo, I'd recommend soft point to bring that time to kill down even more, and then the other one is kind of up to you. This setup is an absolute beast up close. The MP40 is already a very reliable weapon for disposing of the Germans, who, for the most part, have been getting progressively less dangerous since Sniper Elite 3. And this setup just cranks that lethality up to 11, whilst still remaining somewhat accurate. The lightened bolt is always a fun attachment to add. Whilst sending an absolute volley of bullets towards the enemy is usually a lot less viable than controlled bursts, here it is just as viable and twice as fun. And to top it off, the 50 round magazines let you chew through ammo even faster than a Wetherspoons patron can drink a pint of Stella. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Remember to like, subscribe and comment. It costs you nothing and it's a great way to help out the channel. Stay safe and goodbye.